Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon and good morning to everybody from different time zones that you're watching right now. Welcome to Cambridge Veritas. My name is Krishna Triya. I'm your friend and IELTS expert, a teacher trainer at Cambridge Veritas. Welcome. Giving a few seconds for everybody to tune in. How has the day been? Adi, Fazila, good evening, guys. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. All right. So, without further ado, we've got lots of interesting things to do in today's lesson. As you can see, today we're going to be looking at IELTS speaking part 1 to 3, band 9 phrases, plus a live mock as well. So, we're going to be looking at all of that. It's going to be a very interesting lesson. In case you're new to our channel, please do make sure that you subscribe and like the videos if you like the lesson. Thank you. What are we going to do today? Let's have a look at the agenda of the lesson. I reiterate, it is band 9 phrases, live mock, plus live mock. Just like yesterday, there's a listening activity as well. So we're going to be tuning into an examiner, and we'll also look at a candidate who is answering part 1 question. So there's going to be that. We looked at part 1 yesterday and today, primarily with the focus that we want to get strong with part 1 before we move to part 2. So that's what we'll do today. Please have a look. What are the 4 things that we will do? 3 things that we will do. Number 1, the first activity that we have for today is called Technophile. Once again, what do we call it? Repeat it after me. Technophile. And it is a reading activity. It's a very interesting activity. Short script that I have for all of us. Hi, Harneet. The second activity that we have is 6 phrases. I repeat, 6 phrases that we're going to be looking at. And the final activity that we have is a live speaking mock, a listening activity. So overall, we'll productively spend the next 20-25 minutes learning something new and getting stronger at IELTS speaking part 1. Okay? Thank you, Harneet. We love having you every day. So here we go. What's the first activity of the day? I have a very short paragraph for all of us. I repeat, I have a very short paragraph for all of us. All we have to do is look at the paragraph, read the paragraph, and answer the question that we have. For this question, you may need to use the internet, and that's totally fine. Feel free to do so. First of all, I want to show you the question before showing you the paragraph. The question is, explain in your own words, what is the meaning of this word? I repeat, what is the meaning of this word? Technophile. Technophile. However, when we say it sort of quickly together, it becomes technophile. So what is the meaning of this word? And what is a technophobe? What is a technophobe? And which one are you? Are you a technophile or are you a technophobe? For example, I would say I am a technophobe. Okay? So let's have a look at this. Yeah, so this is a short para that I wanted to show you. The short paragraph is, if you want to pause the video at this point, the live lesson, feel free to do so. However, I'm going to be reciting it out loud for you. I'll go slow. Here we go. C2 vocabulary. Yes, Harneet. So I'll start now. While technophiles love gadgets and all that is state of the art, believing that technology can solve all our problems, there are people who shrink in fear at the prospect of encountering cutting edge technology. What is at the root of their panic? Well, technophobes are fixated on what could go wrong and allow their fears to completely dominate their view of any development in AI, genetic engineering, or modern medicine. So they've actually mentioned both the phrases technophile and a technophobe. I'll continue. While we are busy upgrading our MP3 players to the latest model, they are hoping all this gadgetry will go away, clinging stubbornly to outdated equipment and trusty pen and paper. Well, I'm not that big of a technophobe anyway. So, what is the meaning of a technophile? Gitika says tech savvy. Thank you, Gitika. What about other people? What is a technophile? Thank you, Shinobi. Somebody who's enthusiastic about new technology, that person is called a technophile. And somebody who's a little bit scared of technology, finds it a little bit difficult, is a technophobe. And to be honest, I've been a technophobe for a very long time in my life. Fazula says technophile is somebody who loves technology. Perfect. Hi, Nadeem. Harneet, a person who's interested in modern technology and enjoys using it. Perfect. Absolutely. That person is a technophile. Are you a technophile or a technophobe? Let us know. But there's something interesting that I want to show you. And this is a classic error in IELTS speaking. I repeat, it is a classic error in IELTS speaking. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, okay? Tell me this. I'm going to write two words. Tell me which one is correct. Are they both wrong or are they both right? Okay. So, number one, I'm just going to pick this word from here. Okay. I'm going to pick this word. So, I'm just going to write number one, an equipment or, excuse me, or, oh, sorry, not an equipments, an equipment. Okay. Or, which one is right? So the first one is an equipment. I'm just going to be out of the frame for a little while. And the second one is equipments. Which one is right? Are they both right or are they both wrong? What do you think? I'm telling this because I saw this word here, an important word here. So we're highlighting when you speak English or when you write English, and it's very common, right? Everybody uses this, everybody says it. So which one is right, which one is wrong? Or are they both right, both are wrong? Thank you, Jayanti. Thank you, Gitika. All right, what about other people? Do we say an equipment or do we say equipments? Okay. All those watching, all the 12 people watching right now, you're the lucky ones because I'm going to tell you a secret. They're both wrong. We do not say an equipment and we do not say equipments. They're both wrong English. Equipment is non countable and sometimes goes with no article whatsoever. So we simply say equipment, just like this. Outdated equipment. Can you see? It is not saying equipments. Outdated equipments. It's not saying the plural part of it. It's only saying equipment. So what is it? It's uncountable. Never say an equipment. That's wrong English. And never say equipments. That's wrong English as well. And it is a very common error that I encounter. Perfect. It is a very common error that I encounter when it comes to people using this, especially during the IELTS exam. Don't do that. Tip of the day. All right, let's move on. So, what are we going to discuss? The second game of the day is called Phrasal Verbs Explored. Phrasal verbs. What is the meaning of phrasal verbs? Simply speaking, they are just phrases. We're going to be looking at 9 phrases, actually 6 phrases today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 phrases today that we can use on the IELTS speaking test. I repeat, that we can use on the IELTS speaking test one by one. The game is I'm going to show you 2 variations of the sentences. The same phrase will be used and the meaning will change completely. I repeat, the meaning will change completely. The first one I will show you, the next one you have to do yourself. All right? So have a look. So the first sentence is they dashed the bridge this morning, so the enemy wouldn't be able to cross it. So the correct answer in this context is they blew up. Option number D, the past of blow up is blew up. That means shatter into pieces. You destroy it with an explosive. So they blew up the bridge. Blew up is the past of blow up. So they blew up here. But now, watch. I repeat, watch carefully. The same phrase, blow up, will change the meaning. Let's have a look. They dashed the photo I took and made a poster out of it. They blow up the photo. What is the meaning of blow up the photo? Meaning they enlarged it, they made it bigger. So, there are some phrases in English language that have not just one meaning, they have more than one meaning. And this is something that you can use as well and display basically your awareness of the language during the IELTS exam by showing how the same thing could be used in multiple different ways. So, blow up here means to be an explosive, and blow up here means to enlarge the picture. Now, the next one you have to do yourself. So, have your pen and paper ready. Here we go. What do you think is this one? Put your answers in the chat box. I'm afraid to report that talks between the two sides dash. It is therefore unlikely an agreement will be reached. What do you think it is? Turn down. All right, here's the answer. Please have a look. It is broke down. I'm afraid to report that talks between the two sides broke down. It means it failed, it collapsed, as in the negotiations were not successful. I repeat, the negotiations were not successful. So when something fails, let's say a conversation or a negotiation failed, then you say it broke down. What does it mean? That it failed, it collapsed. All right. Let's look at the next one. The answer is same, but what is the meaning? Your face, your body dash fat to create energy. Looks like a scientific process to me. Your body dash. What does that mean? So when you say breaks down, it is more like a scientific process, meaning it is a metabolic. The metabolism, you're basically referring to metabolism. So it is a metabolic process that you're referring to when you say breaks down. So your body breaks down fat to create energy. So the same phrase that you see, broke down, in 2A means fail, and breaks down in B means the metabolic process. Yeah. So can you see how the meaning changes with it? Perfect. Thank you. Jayanti, Fazala, Shinobi, Geetika, Hari. Superb. Let's move on, guys. We're now going to be looking at the next one. All right, so the next one is here. Let me know your answers in the chat box. Please do make sure that you put 3A in the chat box. I waited for 2 hours, but you didn't what? B, but you didn't turn up. Perfect. Thank you, Fazula. But you didn't turn up. Thank you, Gitika. 3B. Perfect. So the correct answer is turn up. You didn't turn up. That means you did not come. Now let's look at the next one. Can you dash the heating? I am freezing. So what does that mean? Can you turn up the heating? That means increase the temperature. Increase the temperature. So when you say turn up, that means you're feeling very cold and you want the heating to increase the temperature. That means to increase as in the temperature or the volume. Turn up. So what's happening here? Turn up also means to arrive. And turn up also means to increase the volume or the temperature. All right. Turn down is the opposite of apparently turn up. Perfect. Thank you. Yes, that's true. So 3B is again turn up. So the answer remains the same. The only difference that sort of changes is either the eng or the ses form of it. All right. Now let's look at the next one. The job did sound really interesting, but I'm going to dash a dash because it would be too long a commute. What does that mean? What's the phrase for it? Jayanti, Aradhya, thank you. What about other people? Thank you, Shreya. So the correct answer here is turn down. And that means to reject an offer. Once again, turn down, and that means to reject an offer. But the same thing, the meaning changes when we use it in the next sentence. So have a look. Dash the music dash, you'll make yourself deaf. Turn down the music, turn the music down here, or turn the music up, you'll make yourself deaf. In this context, 4B, the correct answer here is going to be turn, apparently. It is a typo, so turn down again. That means to decrease the volume, because otherwise you'll go deaf. So apparently it looks like the person's actually listening to music at a very high volume, and that's what it is being referred to here, to reduce the volume overall. All right? Perfect. Now we're going to look at the last set, and then after that, a very interesting activity starts. The last set is bingo, bingo, bingo. Here we go. So let's have a look. He dashed and went back to sleep. He what? What do you think? What do you think is 5A? 5A, everyone. E. He set off. But what is the meaning of set off in this context? Let's see the answer. The correct answer is turned over. That means to change position. So he was already asleep, and we sort of change position when we sleep during the night. So the correct answer is he turned over and went back to sleep. That means change the position from one side of the bed, let's say, to the other side of the bed. So that is turned over. But you know, turned over has a different meaning as well. Can you guess what could it be? I repeat, turned over has a different meaning altogether. Can you guess what could it be? So the sentence is, this program is so dull. Can we turn over? That means what is it? Turnover in this context mean the phrasal verb changes to turn off. It means that means to switch off the technology. So the phrasal in this phrasal verb, there's one thing that we are changing, which is the preposition. So the same word turn over sort of changes to turn off, in which context it becomes apparently turn off the computer, turn off your phone, etc. So that means to switch off the use of technology that is in constant use. All right. The last one, and we are done. Have they left? Yes, they dash at the crack of dawn. What is crack of dawn? Like wee hours of the morning. What is wee hours of the morning? Like around 4, 5, 6 o'clock. That's called dawn. Predominantly 4 to 5 o'clock. That's dawn. That means that the darkness just almost about to get over, and you're just going to see uh, just the early morning. So, what is the context in this case? Can we change? Like change as in what? 6 is A or F? I mean, sorry, I don't understand. Oh, yes, we can change that ways as well. Yes. The only thing that we can change is the preposition, as in off or down or over, etc. So here the answer is set off. Have they left? Yes, they set off. E. They set off at the crack of dawn. So crack of dawn is a nice collocation as well that you can use, especially to talk about something that you do in the early hours of the morning. I repeat, something that you do in the early hours of the morning. So that is at the crack of dawn. Now let's look at 6b, the last one. The burglars dashed the alarm when they broke in, so that alerted the police. So what is that? The burglars set off the alarm? Looks like something else. What do you think it is? It's actually the same. So it is set off. That means to trigger and activate the alarm. The burglars set off the alarm when they broke in. So that alerted the police. That means to trigger, when they entered, it triggered the alarm, and that sort of alerted the police. So, what did we just look at? We looked at different phrasal verbs. Sometimes with the same preposition, they have the same meaning. So, if you have a look here, blew up and blow up, the only difference is between the tenses and the meaning remains the same. Similarly, broke down and breaks down, only the difference in tense, but the meaning changes. Sorry, I said the meaning remains the same, the meaning changes. Similarly, turn up, same phrasal verb, same phrase, but the meaning is different in two different contexts. Either it is to arrive or it is for the temperature or the volume to increase. Similarly, turn down could either mean to reject something or that means to increase or decrease the volume. Turn down is decrease, apparently. Similarly, we looked at turned off and turn over. The only exception in this case where the preposition, that means the word that talks about the position, is changing. And finally, set off. So use these phrases, changing them in different situations and contexts as the meaning changes. But what exactly are we going to talk about? The next game that we're going to play is the most important game and is the last game of the day. Have a look. So I'm going to play a recording, everybody. All right, lots of attention required. I'm going to play a recording. Listen to the recording carefully. In this recording, you will hear some questions that the examiner is asking. You have to tell me, this game is similar to yesterday. How many questions were asked in total? I repeat, how many questions were asked in total? And number two, what word did the speaker use to say to her grandfather wanted to stay modern with technology? And there's a hint as well that I have given. There's a phrase that was used by the candidate to stay updated with technology, and the phrase has keep in it. I'm going to play the recording, listen to the recording carefully, and answer these two questions. Native speakers are going to talk. They're talking at a moderate pace, like the feedback that you had given yesterday. So listen carefully. Show me a thumbs up if you guys are ready. Okay, I'm going to play the recording now. Ready? Here we go.
Track 38.
What do you use the internet for? Does everyone have access to the internet in your country? Do you think older people are scared of new technology? Do you think young children should have mobile phones?
Sample answers.
What do you use the internet for?
I mainly use the internet to read newspapers and news items, mostly about sport. I also use it to do a bit of research on things to do and things to see at the weekends. I do a bit of internet shopping, like booking flights and accommodation for my holidays.
Does everyone have access to the internet in your country?
I think so. Obviously, people in urban areas have wider access to the internet. It's still a very rural country, though, so on second thoughts, I'm not sure that everybody is connected. And certainly not everyone has broadband.
Do you think older people are scared of new technology?
Some older people embrace new technology. My granddad, for example, was a technophile and wanted to keep up to speed with the latest technology. However, I would say that most older people don't bother learning about new technology simply because they can't see what it will bring to their lives.
Do you think young children should have mobile phones?
I can't see that young children have much use for mobile phones, at least in terms of using the phone as a phone. They might find it interesting to have a device to listen to music and take photos, but I can't imagine many young kids making calls.
Perfect. Thank you. So here we go. 4. Thank you, Project Handaloom. How many questions were asked? What about other people? Waiting for your answers? 1.5 questions. What does that mean? 1.5? So the correct answer is, here we go. Please have a look. The correct answer is, the speaker asked 4 questions in total. Can you also put down what those questions were, possibly after the live? That's fine. And what was the phrase that was used, by the way? Thank you, everyone. Hari, Shreya, Fazila, Shinobi, Kitika, Jayanti, Aradhya, Hari. I'm afraid, yes. Technophile? No, the word has keep in it. The phrase has keep in it. Perfect. Thank you, Fazila. That's where the answer is. The speaker used the phrase keep up. Once again, it is a phrasal verb. It is a phrase that we used to talk about. Stay updated, correct? So what is keep up here? Keep up means to stay updated with something. When talking about her grandfather wanting to stay modern with technology. All right. Now is the most important task. Out of all of these phrases that we looked at today, have a look. Break down, turn up, turn down, blow up, set off, turn over. Out of all of these phrases, which phrase do you think you will use? Because you can suddenly think of a sentence. Make a sentence using that phrase. And until then, I'll let you know something very important which is related to an assignment that I have for you. So the assignment is, it's called IELTS Speaking Part 2. Now in this, I'm going to show you an example part 2 question. Give yourself 1 minute to prepare when you look at the question. Stand in front of the mirror or talk to a friend or somebody at home and speak on this topic for 2 minutes. And if possible, record yourself. So it's more like a challenge. I repeat, it's more like a challenge. Give yourself 2 minutes to speak and 1 minute to prepare. Once again, 1 minute to prepare and 2 minutes to speak. And the topic is, here we go, here. Describe a piece of electronic equipment, not equipments, equipment, and not an equipment. That's wrong English also. Both are wrong. An equipment and equipments, both are wrong English. So describe a piece of, so if you want to say like singular item, equipment, then you can say a piece of equipment, like the way it is written here. So describe a piece of equipment that you find useful. Take a moment, 1 minute to think about it. You don't have to do it right now, you can do it later. What the piece of equipment is, when and where you got it, what you use it for, and most importantly, explain why you find it useful. So if you use all of these are called helping questions or helpers. We use these helpers to sort of elaborate on the topic and just extend the answer for 2 minutes, more like a personal challenge. All right. So this is your homework. This is your task. Feel free to do it. Take a screenshot if you want to. Excellent. And now is the time for exit ticket. I repeat, now is the time for exit ticket. Let me know in the comment section below, what did you find most useful from today's session? It was a simple but important session based on phrases. These are called phrasal verbs, and they have a lot of importance on the IELTS exam because they come in the category of uncommon vocabulary. So the more uncommon vocabulary you use, the more you display that your communication skills are really strong. So what did you learn from today's lesson? Let us know in the comment section. We're going to meet tomorrow. In case you're interested, feel free to join the IELTS TTT program, IELTS Masterclass for trainers, for those of you who want to be IELTS trainers later. And like always, thanks for being with me in this lesson. God bless. Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be looking at IELTS Writing Task 1. I repeat, IELTS Writing Task 1. So it's going to be a very interesting session. Make sure that you're there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye. Take care. Good night.